Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon. Let's go ahead and get started with our broad market analysis. Today is the 21st of May, 2023. We'll be covering the 21st into the 26th. And just as a reminder, Memorial Weekend starts this Friday. And when I was in the Air Force, we used to get Friday off and we would also get Monday. So it is a 4-day weekend for a lot of folks out there. So just know that the market could be pretty quiet on Friday. So the way that I'm looking at going into this week is that Monday through Thursday really is where the action's going to be. And if for some reason Monday's just kind of a digestion day or we just kind of go sideways, that really leaves us with only so many days for some sort of bigger impact in the market. Let's go ahead and start here with the earnings. Looking through Monday through Friday, some of the names that really point out to me would be Zoom is the first one. Although I don't trade this anymore, it's just a name that I am familiar with. And then when we get over into Tuesday, things look a lot better. Looking for Lowe's, Dick's, BJ's, AutoZone, Palo Alto, Intuit. There's a lot on here. Toll Brothers, Urban Outfitters. Could see some great moves in those names on Wednesday. Kohl's, Nvidia, Snowflake. There's one. Nvidia. I'm really interested in see how this guy goes into earnings. They sure do seem like they've had a really big move, and you would think that it needs to slow down, but you never know. The charts tell us a different story. Coming on down here, you can see Splunk, Petco. Moving on down, American Eagle Outfitters. Let's see, on Thursday, Best Buy, Costco, Dollar Tree, some of my favorite names. Ulta, if you thought earnings season was over, you were wrong. So I just want to remind everybody, if you're looking at technicals, we still have a lot of names that could push this market up or again, just kind of give us a little bit of digestion period. Moving on down, Workday, Burlington, Ralph Lauren, Build-A-Bear Workshop, wow, still around. Big Lots on Friday. And again, I think Friday is going to be pretty quiet. It looks quiet on the earnings front, but also, like I said, most people probably going out for their vacation. And if you recall, I live out here in Florida on the water, and I can tell you I am looking forward to this vacation time. So, again, let's go ahead and move on. Here we have our Market Watch. Again, I use this from Market Watch, which is a free site that I get my information from. So yours, if you're paying for something, you might have a little bit more detail. But one thing that I want to make clear, all this stuff is just noise for me. It's a catalyst that pushes price into supply and demand. I am here for price action only. Price is king, supply and demand. We identify these zones in days, weeks, months before price actually gets there. This is just the catalyst that pushes price there so that we can react. Notice here on Monday, we have Fed President James Bullard. 11 o'clock, we have Fed President Mary Daly. 11:05, President Raphael Bostic. Richmond, Fed President Barkin. So a lot of Feds talking on Monday. Tuesday, again, Fed head talking. We have S&P Flash U.S. Services PMI, so important information coming out. We could see some volatility there on Tuesday. Wednesday, another Fed speaker. Then we have Fed minutes. I always hear the same thing. It's just minutes. We already know the information guides. It still causes volatility in the market. Thursday, GDP initial jobless claims. Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin speaks again. Pending home sales. And then let's go ahead and look at Friday here. Wow, Friday looks really busy. So if you're taking off, you're going to, use this time to vacation, just know that we do have quite a few things coming out. Core PCE coming out. We have personal income, durable goods, moving on down here, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, consumer sentiment. So a lot of information there on Friday. Moving on, this is the neutral strategy that I provide every week, and we'll be providing that here on our next slide. But as you can see, this worked out really well this week. Again, we went over this kind of midweek and said, hey, listen, if you took the trades over the top neutral, you did really well, either on SPY or QQQ. If ever you guys need some additional targets, just reach out to me. I can get those for you. Again, we trade live every single day. Here at Simpler Trading in the Trendy Trading room. And if you're interested in that, come check us out. I would love to coach you into some of these profitable trades that we're looking at every single day. Over here, this is this week's SPY and QQQ neutral. Notice, the SPY is 420.46 by about 416.18. These are daily charts. Again, I put these together using weekly, daily, 4 hour Fibonacci's, Fibonacci extensions, supply and demand, all that good stuff to come up with these great levels. Just take a quick snapshot. If you guys don't know how to trade the neutral strategy, just go to my YouTube and you'll see a quick video on how I discuss around the trading strategy of the neutral strat. Moving on, let's get to the big picture. So SPY, this is, I'm using a monthly. I typically use a quarterly, but I am focused on the monthly as of right now. Using the monthly, important to note that the candles have turned green, indicating that the momentum has changed. So we went from white to now a green candle. And if you remember from last week, I was saying that the candle was inside, but as long as the monthly candle, or sorry, the monthly EMA cloud was holding, that we could expect price to continue to move up towards that 424 target. As of right now, that 424 is still target, and you can see that the monthly cloud is still support. We did get above 416. I mentioned that last week. I said that it could get really interesting as SPY would lead over 416, and here we are. My question is, it's not a big question, but I'm just kind of curious if we now kind of shift over to SPY and concentrate there while the Qs digest. But again, price is king, so I don't really want to go too much into that. We'll just coach every morning and see where we kind of open up and close and so forth and go from there. Let's go ahead and go into the next chart, which is going to be your Qs. This is the bigger picture. The quarter chart, price holding the 38.2. We said this last week. And as long as it does, expect the 23.6. And you can see we have moved up quite a bit since even last week. And this is the same idea. We're in a bull channel. We're moving up towards that level. Timing is the variable. That level, I know that it's hard to see, but I'll read it off to you. It's 346.87. My update far as today, again, red to white, update, red to white on the candles. We actually went from red to green here, so update 521. Momentum now green, but feels a bit extended on the lower time frames. Regardless, we still have big names reporting. Let's just follow price, folks. Bigger picture, the monthly EMA cloud holds. I continue to be bullish up into the 346 level. And again, we have a quarterly supply zone that's up here around 362. Let's go ahead and move on to our next slide. This is the dollar, or DXY. Price came down into the support level. It continues to bounce, but here's the thing, right? Bulls, you want to take caution when we're bouncing in the dollar. And we continued to pull back a little bit on Friday, but here's the thing. The bull rally could continue because we're pushing right into resistance. I'm really curious to see how the dollar reacts into this rejection point. So basically, if we look at this and you were to zoom in, we've come right into the top of the cloud and right into the bearish channel. So 103.887 is the area that we want to be cautious of. If we start to bid over that, just take caution on your longs or your intraday longs for trading. Let's go ahead and move over here. This is the TNX. We continue to bounce here. I'm still looking for demand, but it is and did get over resistance of 3.492. So again, TNX, bigger beta names, you could see them kind of stall around here. But we are getting close to, if you throw some rails on this, we're getting close to some resistance up here as well. So again, showing that, the bullish market could continue a little bit to the upside. Now we get into our futures. This is where these charts just work so well, and I love to teach around them. And if you have any questions, reach out. So what I want to show you is we haven't changed this. This is the same supply zone, but we came up this past week, and this is a weekly chart. All right, right there, you can see it says weekly. It's the same one, and we finally hit our next target, which was 42.20.29. And yes, I know there's no 29 in the ES, but we hit the 42.20 and a quarter, which just shows you the levels are working really well. Now, the way that I view this is that as long as we can hold above this level here, we can continue to chew through supply and work ourselves to 42.49. But listen to me, 42 and a half, 42.50, That is the level. This could be a huge breakthrough for bulls on the SPY. We have been bumping up against this supply for quite some time. And this would just, again, this is a really big deal for me this week. So I'd love to see it happen. And when I show you the NASDAQ, you'll notice that the NASDAQ's already broken through and it's a little bit different story. We'll get to that here in a second. But again, these two major levels for you this week, folks. I want to see if by the end of Friday, so please just bear with me for a second. When I show you these weeklies, all I care about is when the weekly closes. It's a if this, then that. See, price is staying above the cloud here. So really at the end of the day, as long as it stays above that, I expect it to continue moving to the upside. This week, what I'd like to see is 41.77 hold and or we close over 42.50. All right, that's all I care about. So I'll come back at the end of Friday and I want to see what this looks like. The structure says, look, there's topping wicks here. We could see resistance. We're in supply and we're not safe until we could break out. And then I would like to see it come back and retest, digest for a bit, and then perhaps we build a nice base off of that supply. But right now, you should still be cautious. It's been fun, but you still have to be a little bit cautious, understanding we're still in supply. Let's go ahead and move on. This is the daily, and these are new triggers. Notice I have new triggers on here. The long is down here by one of our automated levels, and then our next long is down here by one of our automated levels. Far as resistance, I got it up here at 42.56, and far as going short is around 43.17. Again, folks, this is not, we don't do anything. All we do is when price gets here to these levels is we break it down into a smaller time frame and then we use our strategy to execute the trade. If it doesn't trigger with, using our TTM Pro and on a smaller time frame, we don't take it. So please understand, just because it says resistance doesn't mean anything. Just because it says short, it's just a level where we could see price turn. But again, few things need to line up and then we'll execute off of that trade. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. This is a 2-hour chart. On the 4-hour, I couldn't quite find my levels. Far as structure is concerned, of course, we have the trendy edges here to already let us know where these levels are, which is really convenient. But I want to also teach you how to find the structure. And for this week, I want you to go to the 2-hour. You're going to see the inside and down. You're going to see the inside and up for support here. And then the major level of inflection or imbalance is down here around 41.42 by 41.26. Again, this is ES Futures. And far as tonight is concerned, guys, we use the nightly PMZ. I'll be showcasing that in the room, and hopefully we'll get ourselves a nice trade tonight. But still, please watch these levels because these levels have a lot to do with our intraday trading as well and at night. Okay. All right, let's move on. So the Nasdaq price has pushed over supply, unlike the ES. And now I would like to see price hold and base above 13,743. So as I was showing you in the picture before, I'd like to see price push over, come back and retest this, and then build a base here. If it wants to continue to the upside, I have some targets up there and you can see those. This is what it looks like when I take away the supply zone. This is still weekly on the NASDAQ. And again, I just want to come back at the end of the week and see that support can hold or that we start to continue to push into these targets to the upside. 14,074, 14,294, 14,848. These are the targets to the upside if we continue our push to the upside. Over here, this is your daily, this is your resistance, this is your short trigger, your trigger longs. Same thing, once price gets there, smaller time frame, you guys know what to do. And if you don't, come check us out for those detailed instructions on how we executed these triggers. Let's go ahead and move on. Next thing, this is going to be a 4-hour, not a 2-hour. The 4-hour gave me a little bit better picture on the NASDAQ. You can see we have supply up here. Annotate those numbers. This just means resistance. We're in a bullish phase right now. So these supply zones, the biggest thing I want you to understand is if you're long, we're just taking our net, our net long positions and we're trimming them into these zones. All right. I'm not going full blown short mode as of right now, especially during earnings season. And so I just want to make that apparent. We have support down here at 13,803 by 755, and then our demand zone around 13,687 by 13,603. If you really want to learn how we trade these, it's all about putting a methodical and sequential approach, and it's really important because zones can be sort of wide sometimes, but we do use the TTM Squeeze Pro in relationship to this, and some Fibonacci's and stuff like that that really help us out on our timing of the zones. Overall, I would have to say this. My sentiment going into this week is I can't wait until the 4-day weekend starts. That's how I think about this week. And I think a lot of other people are looking to do something, to vacation, to go places. So it could get a little dull towards the end of the week. So don't be shocked. And again, I think that it's all about the first couple days in the market. But then I think we kind of stall and not do a whole lot. We do have some great names coming up on earnings. I'm excited to go over those and coach through those. Every day is exciting, I believe, in the first 60 to 90 minutes here at Simpler Trading, especially in the Trendy Trading Room, where I'm coaching. We're calling out those trades for futures, and of course, most importantly, what I love about what we're doing is we're using alerts straight from my API. That means as soon as I take a trade, it is sent to the room within milliseconds and they can see that. And that's what transparency is all about. If you're interested, come check us out. If not, I hope this video really helps you. And if you like it, give me a like, give me some time and subscribe here on YouTube. But also, you can follow me out on Twitter at TrendyJohn, TR3NDYJON. As a matter of fact, guys, we do have a webinar coming up on the 31st. I hope to see you there. It is free and you can get some valuable information. If you have any further questions, you can reach out to me. Can't wait to see you guys.